Hello, Woke Warriors. Today we're talking about the basis for scientific arguments and methods. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And let's jump into it.
Oh, my friend Jordan Peterson again. He pops up on my feed a lot. Well, I mean, he's talking about aggressiveness between the sexes, so I think this might be a good subject to talk about. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, Arthur. What do you have behind door number... I'm going to say 3, even though we might not publish this in perfect chronological order. Let's see.
Women have to express aggression.
More Jordan Peterson. Come on. We gotta drink from different fountains. But I'll take you up on this one.
Somehow, unless you're willing to say that they're not aggressive. They tend not to do it physically. Not to the degree men do, so they use other channels. And what other channels are there other than physical aggression if you're going to be aggressive? Well, you go after people verbally. You go after them with innuendo and gossip and reputation destruction. And that's how it works.
And just to be clear, that you think that's predominantly a female modus operandi?
It isn't that I think that.
Well, I'm
it's that
asking
the
you.
Clinical literature indicates that. It isn't that I think it.
Well, I'm not interviewing the clinical literature. I'm interviewing you. What do you think?
Well, I'm a psychologist and a scientist, and I tend to base my opinions on what I've read in the broad, relevant clinical literature. I'm not making this stuff up. I studied antisocial behavior for like 15 years. I'm actually quite an expert.
All right. So I like his approach. So what we're talking about, really, it's more of like what the interviewer wanted out of Jordan in this case. And I think his answer was like undeniable, like facts trump opinions. And what I felt she was asking was like, as a person, how do you feel about this? And people who base themselves or their own insights on more data or literature, as he says it, will eventually gravitate towards what is the dominant data saying. We can always argue that the interpretation of the data might be a little skewed or might be being filtered by a certain point of view or by a certain, let's say, ideology, for the lack of a better term. But we have to understand that data and the interpretation of data are two different things. So people can look at the same data sample and reach very different conclusions. But here it's more about this person. I believe he's probably interviewing Jordan Peterson as a character and his own polarizing opinions. And she's being faced with a backlash that these aren't really opinions, or if they are opinions, they're based on solid data. Now, somebody else can look at the same data and argue very different things. And especially in the soft sciences, it's really hard to come to definitive conclusions. That's why a lot of these issues have evolved over the years, and people have looked at the same things and the same problems through different lenses, and they kind of reached newer conclusions or more informed conclusions, or maybe even wrong conclusions that became the status quo for a while. But this too shall pass. Nothing is forever, or at least it's harder for wrong ideas to withstand the test of time. Maybe that's why we still listen to ancient philosophy and the Greeks to this day and age, because they're still relevant. And some other fads, they are more ephemeral. They don't survive the test of time, and they just, as fast as they came, they went. So here, there's not a lot to say, man. I thought that you were gonna give me a challenge, bro. But still appreciate. And I have to, again, give credit where credit is due. Data is really what we should look at. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this. Let's check out the next one. Hello, Warriors. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to hit that like button. We invite you to join the conversation by writing a comment down below. And if you want to watch more videos like this, go ahead and click the links on the screen. We upload new videos every Wednesday, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you on the next one.